All around the world with Conor McGregor, two things are constant: McGregor and breaking news. His influence extends far beyond the MMA world as he continues to expand his global outreach. And he's doing big business in the fight business. The latest headline came courtesy of BKFC.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
This is indeed a welcome to the big leagues for BKFC and its founder, David Feldman. With this, Conor is now a fighter, an actor, a successful entrepreneur, and now a promoter. He's a promoter's dream to have, but now he's a promoter himself. Stay tuned as we take you through McGregor and his BKFC deal and find out if he can emulate and be the new Dana White. But before that, let me tell you something, brother. Here at Sportskeeda MMA, we talk about each and everything inside combat sports, so subscribe to Sportskeeda MMA. Join us as we take you inside the MMA world. Press the bell icon to never miss any updates from us. Knuckle up, fight fans, and get ready for some explosive action because BKFC is here to stay. McGregor is in town with his latest endeavor with BKFC. The former UFC double champ came live at the BKFC Knucklemania 4 event and announced that going forward, he'll be a partner within the company. He's partnering up with one of the UFC's rival promotions. Under the deal, his company, McGregor Sports and Entertainment, becomes a part owner of BKFC, although Triller will remain the majority shareholder.
I mean, look, you got the biggest guy in all of combat sports right now as a part owner of our company. I think it's just going to move the needle tremendously. We're going to do a lot of big things. We're going to open up a lot of new markets.
Before that, let us find out a little bit more about BKFC. It's the premier organization in the sport of bare knuckle fighting, featuring top fighters from around the world. It was the first promotion allowed to hold a sanctioned and regulated bare knuckle event in the United States. It aims to take old school bare knuckle fighting and present it as an alternative to the other combat sports out there. Bare knuckle itself says bare knuckle, just a wrap and tape around the wrist, thumb, and mid-hand are allowed. That's it. No gloves, no protection, nothing. But guaranteed 100% violence in the ring. Brutal finishes, knockouts, and haymakers all round. Well, talk about chaos, man. The best thing about bare knuckle is that it's a crossover sport. The majority of high-profile names fighting out there in the BKFC ring are former UFC or MMA fighters. But wait, how much of BKFC does the notorious one own? None of the involved parties have publicly commented on it. The minority stake is all we know. This deal gives a major boost to BKFC and its founder, David Feldman, who was excited by the announcement.
In the entire world. He's one of the most popular or influential combat sports fighters of all time, or personalities of all time. I mean, you tell me.
This is not the first time we've seen McGregor inside the BKFC ring. In late 2023, we saw him in a wild face-off with Platinum Mike Perry after Platinum knocked out Luke Rockhold. Conor, being Conor, went public and stated that he'd compete in a bare-knuckle fight before going off into the sunset. Even before this agreement was signed, Forged Irish Stout, one of McGregor's franchises, was already the main sponsor of BKFC. I think this might be on the agenda very soon since A, he's an owner, and B, his UFC contract runs out in 2025. We may very well see that happen, but up next is his much anticipated fight with Michael Chandler at UFC 303 on June 29th. Now that his history and present are out of the way, let's talk about the future. Conor will be working to take BKFC to another level. He'll be the face of the promotion. He will attract massive media attention to the BKFC ring. Matchroom boxing head Eddie Hearn had this to say about the Mystic Mac.
Conor McGregor, isn't it? I mean, it's a promoter's dream. You wouldn't even have to do anything. You just announce the fight, let him do a press conference, you can go on holiday.
The top brass of sports executives always throws in that one-liner. A brand is always bigger than talent. Ideally, that should be the case, but when Conor comes in, he takes over. With him in there, it certainly feels like the talent is bigger than the brand. It felt like Conor is the UFC during his title run in the featherweight division and until the Floyd Mayweather extravaganza. In 2017, after Conor's excursion in boxing with Floyd, he explicitly asked for his share and equity in the UFC.
Owns the UFC nowadays, so where's my share? Where's my equity?
Well, Dana was quick to deny that.
And he said, I feel like I should own a piece of the company. I said, Conor, you know that's never going to happen.
It smells like Dana hurt Conor by telling him no to UFC ownership, so he went elsewhere to buy into. When asked about how would Dana White feel about this deal on the press conference, founder David Feldman told reporters,
You're probably not very happy about it, but he's not worried about us. Not yet.
With McGregor on board, bare knuckle has now the biggest combat sports superstar in the world. Love him or hate him, there's no denying that he's someone who cannot be ignored. He'll attract plenty of eyeballs for the promotion. Conor needs no PR, no marketing team. Media follows him everywhere he goes. 24/7, he's in the limelight. During the live broadcast of Knucklemania 4, BKFC founder David Feldman said,
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this thing all the way to the top now.
among all the competitors of the UFC, Conor makes BKFC stand out in a crowded line to be a distant second to the UFC. BKFC will be a different animal to them since they already have a solid foothold in the US market. Plus, they've expanded very well inside the Asian market with BKFC Thailand, which was set up in October 2021. This was later rebranded to BKFC Asia. Last year, they organized a special rules bout featuring Muay Thai legends Borkao Bunchamek and Senchai in Thailand. That set them up very well in the market. Then they have their own version in the British Isles, BKFC UK. Partnering with McGregor only furthers BKFC's reach, especially if he begins promoting all of the company's upcoming cards and potentially even opens the door to bring BKFC to his home country of Ireland.
You get a guy like that who anything he touches turns to gold. I want that Midas touch for us, so we brought it over.
Conor is regularly seen at boxing events as a high-profile guest along with others. He has excellent connections there, plus the mutual admiration of boxing icons. If he can get a few of them into BKFC, that would be huge. He's not the first one to be a fighter turned promoter. His rivals Khabib Nurmagomedov, Jorge Masvidal, and Nate Diaz are other fighters already in the business. The majority of these promotions are relatively dwarfed compared to the big leagues and can be seen on the UFC Fight Pass like Gamebred FC. Khabib, with his Eagle Fighting Championship, was seen as an up-and-coming challenger, but he is a promoter with a flop show. Eagle FC closed its US operation within 6 months of coming in. Conor will be thinking of outgrowing his fierce rival.
But the question is, can Conor help BKFC catch the UFC juggernaut? Well, not in the immediate future. As Dana likes to say, pump the brakes.
The Irish superstar has a knack of being in the spotlight consistently. McGregor's name value adds a significant boost to the BKFC brand. The transition from a fighter to a promoter might just be his boldest move yet. Yet, time and again, he proves himself. He'll be hoping to redefine his legacy and potentially be the future of bare-knuckle fighting himself. The future looks bright for both. These are just some small steps into this uncharted territory, but make no mistake, he's not just part of the game, he's a needle mover, a pivotal player curating its future. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. What's your take on Conor and him buying a stake in BKFC? What does the future hold for both? What do you think? Let us know in the comments section below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe of Sportskeeda MMA. Also, click the bell icon and don't miss any of our MMA explainers.